Right. We have to do sound checks and things. Is the camera okay? Is the sound check okay? I'm going to visual aid for you here. You've seen these things, right? For like you hold them that way. But do they remind you of anything if you hold them? Is it just me? That reminds me of something. I don't know. But yeah. So did all that come through loud and clear? Hello, Americaland, hello. I know there might be some from the old world who have snuck in by the back door, but I deliberately put this one later in the evening so that I'd reach out and touch those across the pond, those on the far shores. Mic check 1, 2. Beautiful weather out here in the homeland. Hello from Americaland. Hello, Imperious Artifact in the Americaland. What part of the Americaland are you from? Because, of course, when over here, we think of Americaland, we don't think of all of America. I mean, we don't think of Chile when we think, or Barbados when we think of America. I mean, there might be some people watching me from Chile or Barbados, but let's face it, English language stuff. So when we think of Americaland, we barely think of Mexico. But I love Mexico. And Canada as well. They don't even speak English anyway, half of them. So Americaland is extremely small. So whereabouts in Americaland are you from? There's someone from Germany, someone from New York, someone Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee. We have Midwest by 30 miles south of Lake Michigan, South Dakota, evening from the UK, Perch. You're a tourist in this chat. We're talking to Americaland this evening. And there's a Canadian land, eh? Winters is here, and I'm trying my list for my sneaky sky from work game tomorrow. John Turner, what's your list? What you playing? Wrenchman, Kentucky, incoming from Arizona, and we have New Jersey in the house. And let's face it, out of all those names that I read down, I did recognize them, and I could place them geographically on a map. We have someone from Idaho and someone from Virginia as well. That's the thing about us over in the old world. They're called schools. Most of you in Americaland think that the UK is in a part of England and London is 50 miles left of France or something like that. Now, I'm here to troll you, but you can troll me back. I'm here to say hello. There are many things that Americaland does best. All the bigger things, bigger roller coaster, bigger cheeseburgers, your food, like the waffle with the ice cream and then the chips on it and then the cream and these things that you come up with. Your food, dear God, has taken over the world. Maryland, we have Sanguinary Guard in the chat. He's always here. Thank you, legend, moderator, supreme, supremus, supremus. If there are any Americans out there and names that I recognize, as I try and get in contact with Americaland over the next however long this wave lasts. Hopefully it's years. Hopefully you can keep me entertained for years over here in Americaland. And I'll do it for a long time. And I'd love an American land moderator so I can touch base with you guys every now and then. And maybe we'll go to the land down under, but I'm not sure that exists. Ohio, someone's from Manassas, Virginia. Manassas, Virginia? That I couldn't pick on a map. I know where Virginia is, though. Christian Kapang, are you doing a trip to America? And we have to advise you where to go. No, I'm not. This virtual trip that we are taking together, chat, this is my trip to America. But maybe you'll entice me. Maybe there'll be things actually happening in America, Warhammer related, that will make me want to go that way. But one of the things I did want to talk about to you this evening, actually, I want to have a good debate on this. I want to have a massive debate, a heavy debate, a debate with a lots of mass and weight to it, a mass debate with you tonight. I want to have a big mass debate on stream about the supposition, about my proposal, which is Warhammer is simply better in the UK. So why would I go to America except on a virtual chat? But that's one of the things I'd want to talk to you about. Warhammer is, I mean, you do a lot of things bigger and better. Did we talk about the cheeseburgers? I think we did. Yeah, serial killers you've got down, the best in the world, along with the best serial killer movies. Come on now. You got a lot of things down, but I think we've got Warhammer down in the UK better than you, and we're tiny. You've got 4 time zones. We can barely count, and we don't have good teeth. See, you have teeth better than us. In the UK, we have terrible teeth. New England, Boston. New England, just missing out on those playoffs. That kind of sucks to be you. Boston, Massachusetts. Iron Hands against Necrons, John Turner. So you're playing Iron Hands, are you? Well, with the new changes to the Devastator doctrine, you're going to be in no problem whatsoever. Stay in Devastator all the time. You're re-rolling hit rolls of 1 with heavy weapons, and all the heavy weapons are increased AP -1. Thoughts on boarding missions? Yes, there's lovely. Yes, there's... Yes, that... I think they're smooth. We've got England land here. So again, there are some people in the UK and in the old world here listening to. But really, guys, as I said to some people earlier, you're tourists. We're taking a trip through Americaland's mind here. I've put a couple of propositions out to them so far, but no one seems to be replying. You have the LVO. There you go. You do have the LVO. You do have the largest competitive Warhammer event in the world. You do. But you have less Warhammer events, much less, than Europe, and in particular, the UK. So we have a quantity which has a quality all of its own, whereas you have this quality thing, which is because you do everything bigger. You did the LVO bigger. You do that better, that part of Warhammer better, but we do the rest better. Come on now. The US has some of the best Warhammer conventions if you like big. Yes, you do. You have the other one. What's the other one? Up north with the thing. You have another one. Winters, what would you say are the best things to get started with Tyranids? I'm thinking about branching out from my Raven Guard Carnifexes. Lots of them Screamer Killers. What else? Someone from Nottingham? Giant Ball, you guys want to see him? We have Warhammer World. We have Warhammer World in England. Exactly. It just depends on where you are. There are tons of tournaments where you live. Combat Block. There might be, but do you have narrative events? Do you have monthly narrative events? Check out the deploymentzone.tv events page for our monthly narrative events. Do you have them? Narrative? Is that something they do in the colonies? I think it was all about winning, right? It's got to win, got to be the best, got to throw the ball the furthest, got to skate the pond, got to send the rocket into space with the car that you made on it, on a rocket that you made, and then buy up half of the internet. You got to be, it's your excellence, it's your drive that took mankind to the moon. We love you for it. But where's the fun? Where's the joy in things blowing up in front of you? Where's the fun in failing that invulnerable save and choosing not to see P re-roll because he died in an epic fashion? Where's your soul, Americaland? Warhammer is significantly cheaper in the UK versus USA. Yes, it is. This is the homeland. This is the seat of the Golden Throne. Does anyone know what the trophy thing is in front of Winters? Don't think I've ever seen it mentioned before. Oh, that little thing. Just ignore it. Someone says, Truck Station 5 says, we have multiple GTs every work. And I guess because he said we have multiple GTs every work, that Truck Station is from America because he can't spell. Where are we? Frisbee Championship in Gibraltar. America has lots of opportunities for 40k expansion. Next fear of expansion. Yes, Americaland, you could be better. What I'm saying is, Americaland, you need to pull your socks up, okay? You need to jump in the big league. Over here, we're tiny. We're tiny compared to you. Somewhat crippled, very old, wrinkly around the edges, and we still get it out more. There's still more of a YouTube-y presence from me and Luton and all the other big dogs. I mean, out there, you've got some big dogs, much bigger. Tabletop Titans, the best live stream battle reports on the internet. Mini Wargaming, the most varied amount of content you're going to get on the internet with 15 years in the business. Then we have Luton and Boldemort and people like that. And then the big ones outside of that are people like Squidmar is in the UK. You've got Boldemort, no. Major Kill, he's definitely not in the UK. You've got some big dogs, but we've got the cream of the internet cream here, including Tabletop Tactics and someone who may or may not have won a trophy once to prove that he was the legend amongst all the legends, but try not to, I won't even say his name, keep it a secret, keep it safe. We got Warhammer World. All the artists and designers and writers live here, most of them, except ADB, he's in Ireland. We've got the narrative events. We've got thousands of events are happening across the country all the time. We've got the London Tournament Guild thing. That's got 20,000 people in it. And you could do better. You could do better, Americaland. I see you out there. Your drive for success. You out there. 10th edition is coming. There are 100 people in this chat. All 100 of you. And the thousands that may listen to this later. Hear my prayer, Americaland. Get a friend into 40k. Particularly, maybe, definitely when 10th edition drops. Grab that friend. Drag them back into 40k. Your puppy, or you're in Americaland, your alligator or alpaca or whatever guys you guys keep for pets, brown bears, whatever. Grab them, bring them into the hobby. And if you all did that, then, and 2,000 people watch this, then there'll be 2,000 more people who play Warhammer 40k in Americaland, or 30k, or some other derivative system, or maybe Old World when it comes back, because that looks very interesting. And the world will be a better place for it, and you would have injected some positivity into the hobby. And you bring someone in, Americaland, not by saying, hey, here's a game, let me beat you at it. You bring someone in by teasing the models and the story and the narrative. Where is your heart, Americaland? Rise to the challenge. Anyway, that's my proposal I wish to make tonight. And now I would like to chat with you about it. We've got to get a good 100 people in here. And I've seen the chat going. Sorry I haven't answered any of that stuff because I was on a bit of a roll. I quite liked it kicking off there. Oh, and as I mentioned at the start, there are roastings both ways that will happen here. I'm happy to be roasted back again. Please, unleash the dragon. You know, don't make me unleash the dragon. I don't really want to unleash the dragon. Wycliffe John said he'd be gone to November, but he never came back, did he? And I can talk a bit gangster, yo. Rap, rap, blap, blap for the Americans as well if you want. So hit me. Horus Heresy, Goobertam, Snakes Winters. Any thought on one-page rules? Yes, I have lots of thoughts on one-page rules. I've never read them. And I like my battle reports to reach the widest possible audience possible because I'm trying to get as many people into 40k as I can through my enthusiasm, through my love of the game, the lore, the hobby, the everything. And I've been doing it for a very long time now. And my friend group, the SEOs, grew and faded and grew again. And now it's down to about 3, but the 3 that are there are core. And I'm trying to drag a few more people back into it. And that's why it is the SEOs. And I see one-page rules, and I think one-page rules is a symptom of a Games Workshop problem. And the Games Workshop problem is people want to play with your miniatures, Games Workshop, but they don't want to use your rules. That tells you something very significant about your rules. And you should address that because that's the only time that I recall in its life cycle that this has ever happened. They're basically custom house rules that went viral, and now we're at one-page rules. And if people want to play with their minis and don't want to use Games Workshop rules, they can use whatever rules they want to use. They can use one-page rules, they can use house rules, indeed even on the channel and in many of the membership videos and things like that. I make up stuff because it's your 40k, play it your way, not just tournament, not just match play. Play it your way. There's a friend in your group somewhere, if you're lucky enough to have a group. There's a friend in your group or in your local gaming store. There's a friend there. If you're lucky enough to have a friend and not be kicked out of your local gaming store yet because you haven't washed for 6 weeks, you stink like a gamer, there's one of them in there who just wants to try 4,000 points worth of swarm against all your metal machines and doesn't mind if he loses horribly, and you don't mind if you lose horribly, because you almost want to see if you will lose horribly. Oh my God. Oh no, you don't say that, do you? Say, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I did lose horribly. Or, no, so you expect to lose horribly. See, screwed. Oh my gosh, I didn't lose horribly. Everything, I lasted longer than I should have. Anyway, talk to me, Americaland. Talk to me. Winters loves being roasted. Yes, I do. Jimmy, evening to you. Thoughts on boarding missions? Lovely, I've done that. Where are we? Where to get cheap minis? All over the internet webs. They're all there. What does Winter's SEO stand for? In my work, it means search engine optimization. There are a number of things that SEO could stand for. And I don't know if I saved the picture. Talk amongst yourselves a minute. Simply Warhammer, thanks for being a welcome. Oh, my first Simply Warhammer. Simply Warhammer, second apparently, according to this. I must have completely missed the first new member. Whoever you are, I love you. Second new member of the day, Tier 3. Thank you very much. Tier 3 unlocks my personal Discord and all the extra videos and things. And where did I put this thing? SEO, I mean, it can stand for seriously eating ostrich. Seriously executes orcs, sucks everyone off, or swindle elite ops. Up to you guys. Unleash the Dragon. Why bother? British dragons are doing fine. William Begley. Combat School is probably one of the coolest rule sets you've made. It did work out very well, didn't it, Combat School? Surprisingly how well that worked out. And you can check it out on deploymentzone.tv. But Combat School rules essentially are, you start off with a HQ and 2 troops, and then you add a flyer, elite, a heavy. And you'll tell your opponent beforehand that you add a flyer, elite, a heavy. And then I think you go back it through again. We add another flyer, elite, a heavily. And you do the whole series all the way through, telling your opponent before the next game what the heavies you're bringing. Because if you turn around and say, actually, I'm thinking about bringing this... I'm thinking about bringing a Predator. And the other guys go, well, I'm thinking about bringing multi-melters in a drop pod that can land next to your Predator. No, it's not that. So someone says, I'm thinking about bringing a Predator tank. Oh, I think I'm bringing a Predator tank as well. Or I'm bringing a Spartan or a Fellblade, so I'm bringing a Fell. You know what I mean? That's Combat Schools. It's nice a way for two people to grow their army and teach each other the rules. Where are we? The competitive scene over here in the States is a mixed bag. It draws big crowds to events, but the tickle of competitive lists and play into... Yeah, so competitive lists can chase people away. Competitive play can chase people away because, let's face it, I'm sure everyone in the chat or who's listening to this after who was drawn into playing the game didn't start playing the game because they wanted to win at the game. They started playing the game because they wanted to play with the minis they've been collecting for various reasons. I want to see this do. I want to see that do. I want to see them do well. I want to see my captain do this. I want to see if I can I want to see if I can bring this list, and it's a spear tip strike list, and I can't. The rules don't let me. What? Immediately a barrier driving people away. And competitive lists, if people only see it as a competitive game or majoritatively see it as a competitive game, then that puts other people off. You might go, well, I just want to play with it. And that's another barrier that puts people off. So what you need is a very, very, very strong casual player base, much, much stronger than the competitive scene in your area. And if you don't see that in your area, then be the change you want to see. The hobo, a donation. The first of the evening, I love you. You just want to field your Titan one time. Well, amongst your groups and amongst your wherever, talk to them and say, hey, I'd like to field a Titan, but come up with a story. I'd like to field a Titan with this, and I want to see if you can take it down. What can you bring? And they'll see challenge accepted, and they'll have a go. I know the pain of owning a Titan. I have a couple. They never see the light of day. Who wants to go up against a Titan? But if you put something and discuss it beforehand, it's only through negotiations have I been able to unleash the God Emperor, the God Machines of Mars. Welcome to the 13th Tier 3. Thank you for becoming my third new member of the evening. I love you very much. Americaland's already knocking it out of the park with memberships. So, Americaland, I threw out some propositions and things. People, thousands of people, millions of people are going to listen to this after you go. So, come on, chip in. I can barely remember what I was talking about before. Americaland, what was it? Warhammer, here is better. And also, why would I? Oh, that was the thing I started at the very beginning. Why would I come to America to do Warhammers? when I get all the Warhammers here and I can talk to you over the internet. But I want to be persuaded otherwise. I want to be persuaded that Americaland has got some good Warhammers. Hi from New Zealand. Wow, you're doing up. You're doing up. That, yeah, for you. You know what I'm saying. You guys are half drunk most of the time. Or is that Australians? Aren't you the same thing? Hello, England. Isn't that Cat's mug? Hey, come on now. Come on. This is the boss's mug. This is my mug. I wear the trousers in this house, yo. Hope she doesn't hear that. I just wanted to fill my night house. That's as close as I can get to a Titan right now. Talk to your opponents, Brandon. If you can't find the kind of people who want to experience that and go up against it, then keep looking. You will find them. Currently working on KSM, and I think I'm going to make the Dead Space Marines around the minis. The Dead... What? You're going to make the Dead Space Marines on your KSM bases 13th. I've seen a disturbing amount of 13th on bases when I go to events and things. Particularly DZTV ones or my events. Yeah, they're, well, let's just say the boys get around a lot. Greetings from Redcar, New England. Greetings. Where on Terra is the Golden Throne? Nottingham right now, 38,000 years in the future, somewhere in the middle of the Himalayas. Racing with... You have a bolter you can shoot. Are you in Americaland? That's one of the things you guys can definitely shoot out there is guns. Lots of guns. Americans pay a lot more. Yes, you do, but you're not paying as much as Australia. So that's why you have very dedicated fans, yes. But the Australia, that's where the Horde meta scene came from. There's some competitive guys out there. It costs like 28 times as much. And someone was from New Zealand in here. He knows, unless he's drunk. I'm half drunk. There you see, Brandon. There we go. Brandon, nailing it. But I would say the same thing sober. Greetings from Mile High City of Denver. Denver, what's happened to your team, Brian Wesley? What's happened? From the heady days of John Elway to what now? Bottom? I mean, that Russell Wilson. Was he turning it on at the end in the last couple of games, particularly after you sacked your head coach? I think he was. James Tyre, thank you for your donation. Love you very much. We celebrate the 13th, about to dominate again. Want to celebrate the 13th, about to dominate again. You want to celebrate the 13th, about to... It almost makes English sense, but I know, Americaland, that speaking the King's English is something that you struggle with sometimes. Awesome and yeehaw and y'all. And I know. It's difficult for us too, particularly when you're trying to film a thing. Hey, I've got a news flash for you guys. Guess what turned up to yesterday? And my tech wizard, lovely wife, only took her a couple of hours to get it working. Announcement. Strap yourselves in. Actually, we can do this another way. I have a mega important, not important, but it's a big thing about my setup here. A big announcement about my setup. Drum roll. You guys guess, and while I'm letting you type your guesses in, if you want to buy any Winters SEO merchandise, then it's in the thing, and that's no one's bought any since the last live stream. I could normally flog a t-shirt, but yeah, I don't know if anyone in Americaland's got any merch. Yeah, my big tech thing. Where are we? I live about 100 miles from you Winters, James. Do you? So you're not in Americaland. Nipple tassels is not my big secret, Aussie. I almost got hit with the bullets twice that I know of. Okay, so not an Inquisitor. Nearly got hit by bullets because farmland. America. Paul. Say hi to Paul. Hi, Paul. 3D printer, no. Danny Stewart, you're not in America. You don't have to leave. We're tourists in Americaland this evening. We're trying to get them engaged here. I once saw some Eldar in the 13th colour scene. No, you didn't. It's a lie. Winters now has glow-in-the-dark Necrons for Night Battle. No, I don't. More Paul. I know. He just did a live stream this evening and check it back on a VOD. I'm within, I'm without. Two. We think we have trouble with English. I love Winters t-shirt and mug. Thank you, Alex G, getting a Winters t-shirt and mug and for being a member for so. New computer. No. Here the guests are coming in. I have your white dice. You have my white dice. Thank you for buying the white dice. They actually roll quite well, the white ones. Guesses. My setup. A new air conditioner for the room. The old mobile air conditioner is down there. The problem with the air conditioner is I have to turn it on in between every take. So it goes on and off and on and off and on and off. And the hose for the air conditioner, I have to open the window, which lets more heat in, stick the hose out, bang on the air conditioner for a bit, and then quickly close the window, turn the air conditioner off, do the next take, put the hose out, open the window. She won't let me drill through the glass or for the wall or attach one on the rear permanently. So we live with what? No, I wear the trousers in the house. We discussed that making major fabrication changes to the glass or to the walls, which essentially thermulates the house. We agreed wasn't the best thing to do with something we only use for 2 weeks of the year because, hey, we don't live in a land that either freezes us to death or leaves us dying on a mountain, or in the deserts you have deserts there and bears, or has hurricanes, whirlwinds ripping through towns. I saw this movie once, poor girl called Dorothy. She went to this other land where there were all these things. Poor Dorothy. And as soon as she got whipped away, they called her, Dorothy, come to the shelter, and she didn't. And they didn't bother go looking. They didn't even think. She's just gone over the rainbow. I think that's, if you haven't seen that movie, you should, I forget what it's called, you should check it out. I think it will really take off. What's the trophy for? No. Link to merch? No. Massive stick? No. Air conditioner UK? Exactly. You run the condenser? No. Winter's your battle reports were my introduction to 40k. Your vids got me interested in this wonderful world. Thanks. No, thank you, Jacob Wilhelm. The trophy was for winning the SM Battle Reports tournament. What, this one? It wasn't just an SM Battle. It wasn't just an SN No Retreat tournament, because they do the best tournaments in the world. The narrative boards, as many people from around the world, it's just brilliant. They got together some of the most sweaty Legend of Legends and some of the best content creator Legend of Legends. And despite the competitive nature at the very top end, and despite going against an undefeated Orc buggy list before the nerf, a week before the nerf, despite going up against that, and that army had trashed 4 other players, despite going up against that and having to beat the unbeatable army, well, I won a thing. That's the trophy. But I don't like to talk about it very much because you've got to come across as humble, I only really put my mind to it once, but there was all those editions back and forth, and 5th edition, 6th edition, the early 6th, where I was kicking ass as well in tournaments, but I wasn't on YouTube then, but I did that and the trophies. I had so many of them. I turned them into little seats so that I can break all the 13th off and sit them down after each battle on these little wire seats that I made out of all the other 40k trophies. And then I glue them back together again. That's what I do. Yes, so what I have, the new hobby update. None of you, greetings from California. Hello, California. What time is it in California? It must still be like noon or something. And is California still like raining and horrible out there for once? It's actually raining. Did you get something related to the Arcs of Omen gameplay? Yes, they gave me this. And I'm not going to play any of it. They also gave me the Arcs of Omen narrative book, which I've already did the thing. Good day. First always win. 3 p.m. in California. Nice place, California. New filming location. No. So, guys, for those who just jumped in or who want, drum roll, please. Drum roll in the chat, please. Because it's big. I've taken a massive step forward with technology. The boss said that no, 1 minute. I've taken it. I've chosen to upgrade. Drum roll. Where's the drum roll? Come on, guys. Leaving me hanging here, Americaland. I mean, the UK, they'd be on it right now. There'd just be drum rolls in the chat, and I there's not even one. You're talking about boarding actions. New webcam? No, it's not a new webcam. Can I get one drum roll? Isn't there an emoji for this? You're writing drum roll. I'm making the sound. There's no imagey drum roll. UK drum here. See, I know the UK would batch me up. There's the drums. Collab 39 is coming in with the heavy drums and the cymbal crash. Thank you. Drum rolls, cymbal crash. I think you hire someone for that. No, I've got you, Americaland. Americaland coming in with the big cheeseburgers. Loving Americaland. Coming in with the drum roll for this leap forward in light-year technology for my YouTube and my camera. I've upgraded my entire camera system. I've upgraded my entire sound system. I've upgraded my entire computer processing system for making battle reports and content for you guys. We got a new phone. We went from the S8 to the S22. So proud of myself. It took like 2 hours to sort it all out and things. And then it didn't sort out, and now it's sort of sorted out, and that was yesterday, and I filmed my first battle report on it today. And so far, the OS, because they do this, the OS it's still, so far it hasn't bit me yet, but I did lose where I was on Audible, which was really annoying, because right now I'm halfway through Prospero Burns on Audible, having smashed out all the Horus Heresy books on Audible, which I highly recommend. Congrats. Hey, Winters. Hey, Jonathan. What? Just hello. Oh, I thought you said, hey, Winters. Like, yes. Let me show you. I don't know. Hi, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Something. Praise the Omnissiah. Just hello. Use the old phone for top-down malarkey. No. I like the... See, I did for a long time. What do you guys think of this? So, for ages, Taunton, Missouri, and things like that. Welcome, Missouri. Welcome, Stephen. Hello, Stephen, sir. For a long time, everyone was using the handheld thing. And then over the last 2 or 3 years, we've got top down and this and different cuts coming in. And everyone started to look a lot more professional. And I went, damn it, that's too much work. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And it looked a bit shit, particularly as everyone was doing it. But now I think it adds, because there's not so many people filming and moving around, you know. So it's like a fly on the wall documentary. It's I think it has a charm of its own to it now, which doesn't make me want to try any top down or any other flick flack flu malarkey. What do you guys think? Should I do some of the flu or maybe some of the flicking? And if so, what would you recommend? We have Kentucky. I really like your filming style. Boarding missions, talked about it. Rewind. Somerset, UK. You're up a bit late. Keep it rusty. Massachusetts, your filming is stand out best. Oh, James Ty. You do tickle me. Newcastle, Old World, Old Nuki Brown. Whiskey is better here. You're a Brit. Don't know what matches your where? Not in Americaland. Queensland. Not in America. Queensland is part of Americaland. It's on the other side of the pond. That's at least how we all see it over here. Drum rolls, keep it the same. Keep it there. So, yes, keep it the same. Keep doing you, mate. It's the best format. Stick to your sides by far the best. Don't change it. Keep filming the style. It's ace. Please don't change filming style for it ain't broke. Don't like the top down, to be honest. Other bat reps don't show the models enough. I like the way you film. You're by far the best rat reports on YouTube. Oh, you guys. Simply Warhammer, James Time, Timothy Unwin, Corey Gibson, Stephen Yates. You guys. You guys. That's the Goonies. Do you remember the Goonies? Classic 80s movie. And if you haven't seen the Goonies, go and see that movie. It's classic 80s movie. If you like Stranger Things, you'll like the Goonies. It's one of the things that Stranger Things is aping, particularly in seasons 1 and 2. The filming style really sells the feel of standing around a gaming table and having a good time. Thank you. Drum roll. You need a rematch. Well, we'll talk about rematches at the moment. I love the displaying the army in the beginning. That's an interesting thing, Clobs 39. Some people don't like the displaying the army bit at the beginning and skip that and just want to watch the battle report. There are a percentage of people who do that. There are a percentage of people who only watch the here's the armies and why you've got the armies. I always try and say why I've got it. Not like I've got this and I've got this and I've got this and I've got this. I say I've got this and he's moving around with that one. And I've got this thing over here and this is my speed part. This is that. So the overall feel of my art, so this is going to be a slogging foot army, but I've got some stuff to back it up. Or this is going to be a 1-2 punch with half on the table. And some only watch that, and some people like it all the way through, and some think that that bit is the beginning bit. But there's some people who just can't stand it and skip it. The people who love it, which is why I try and make sure I'm giving across some information during those bits as well. Warsun 1, thank you. Thank you. Your top D for this evening. $20 super chat donation. America being generous. Thank you, Americaland. Your bet are the best, he's shouting. Yours are the GOAT of all time. You know what? For years, I didn't know what the GOAT stood for. I didn't. Here's a fact, and this will drop your Americaland minds, and this is a true fact, and I can't believe I'm saying this online, but I'm saying it online. GOAT became such a thing that you see on the internet, on LOL and all those other ones, around for such a long time, and I wasn't after I got married and building the channel, I stayed away from sport for such a long time, and I only got back into American football, was it 2 or so years ago, because I've been a lifelong supporter of American football, or as you guys over there call it, football. And it wasn't when Tom Brady became the GOAT that someone told me actually what GOAT stands for. So I only just found out. And I just thought, the GOAT. Yeah, man. I don't know if I'm the GOAT. Yours are greatest of all time from Missouri in Americaland. I love you, Warsun 1. Thank you very much. And now Awful Gamers come in behind with a £4.49. Good King's English pounds super chat. Thank you so much. Tried to drum roll for you here, but your YouTube thinks it's spam, so sorry, da dum tish. The machine spirit denied you, huh? It saw you coming in. You didn't whisper kindly to it enough. You didn't say the proper rites or stroke the proper ritual on the pad. I mean, how can you not follow the ritual on the pad while you're saying, cargo bay number 2, I love you, which is the password, or cargo bay number 2, doors open. And on the pad, it's been worn away by 10,000 years of people saying the same thing, praying the same prayer to open cargo bay door number 2. Occasionally the pad needs changing every 1,000 or so years. Rue, thank you for your donation. I love you, Rue. I think your style is the best. Tier is for pre-recorded. Love the narrative and banter. Thank you. Thank you so much for your love and warmth. So yeah, someone earlier on suggested maybe do a top down, maybe do this. And I think I haven't read anyone who says, nah, change your style. I know I'm probably biased right now because one, Americaland loves awesome and all things awesome and are so polite and kind they won't say anything shit to your face. So for example, in America, or Canadialand or other lesser known places of Americaland such as Cuba, Chile, places like that, if you meet someone and they say, hey, there's my friend Bob, and even if they've had a really bad day with Bob, and even if they secretly hate Bob on the inside, or Bob cheated them out of money, or Bob stole the girlfriend and his Warhammer collection, but he's only really hanging around Bob because he's a millionaire and he pays for all the Warhammer, and that's why he was able to steal the girlfriend and the Warhammer collection. And then you go to Americaland and they'll say, hey, here's my mate. No, they won't say mate because they think the mate is like animals, when they, sexy time. They say, hey, here's my friend Bob. He's a really nice guy. Would you like a cheeseburger? That's what they'd say in Americaland. Whereas over here in the UK, we say, have you met my mate Bob? He's a wanker. And we mean it. So you guys are just nicer. So Rue, thank you for dropping in a super donation as well. We're really rolling this evening, guys. I love you. Thank you so much. I think your style is the best there is for pre-recorded Love the Narrative and Banter. I believe I may have read that one out already. I'm getting so carried away. Where are we? Hello and goodbye. Just saw you were on, but I'm off to bed. Hi, Monkey. Bye, Monkey. I look forward to seeing you on the 21st, where we'll be filming a battle report with Salt and Plays. Is there a good game shop there? We don't even know what game shop is, mate. What is game shop? Over here, we've got Element Games. And if you're in the chat, or if you are watching this as a VOD afterwards, I'll link it in the video description. There's the link to my thing, to Element Games, for everyone in the UK who not in Americaland, because they can't ship Games Workshop to America because they've changed. They can ship your paints and things and other gaming systems. I really should get someone for Americaland as well. But yeah, and then I get, essentially you get 5% cash back in crystals, and I get 5% cash back in crystals, so equivalent to 5% cash, but it goes into these crystals that you spend on Element Games and blah, blah, blah. Put it this way, I was talking to a small local games retailer just a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him how many Cadian Stands box sets did he order in, and he said he ordered in 50. And he was having a conversation with Byron from Element Games, because they all talk to each other. Well, Element Games in particular are very friendly and very helpful, and known for being a pillar of the community. For a company that size to fuck up as little as they have with the deliveries and stuff, they've got a really smooth system going on there. And Element Games got in 10,000. Now you got 50. And I don't know how many Games Workshop are shifting, but that just tells you how big Element Games are. So we've got Element Games, and we order everything from there using my link with the thing, so they know you're coming from me. The Tech Priest opens the door for you to Cargo Bay 2. You move through, and they know that my prayer opened up Cargo Bay 2, and you could only get through if you... So you go up to Cargo Bay 2. You rub your finger on the anointed pattern where thousands of people have done it for tens of thousands of years before, so you can't exactly fuck that up. And you say, enter Cargo Bay 2, Winter's SEO affiliate link is the password, and then Cargo Boy. Challenge it somewhat. Richmond has an awesome NTG shop, so Magic the Gathering. Hello from America, US. Dark Dragon. So, where are we? Chat. What were we chatting about? Answer some questions. Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me. You put the link in the description. You should put the link in the description, Dads and Deads. That is the plan, if I remember it. If I don't remember it, someone poke me in the comments. Terminus Grey, you have the best channel for Warhammer. Don't change the cam style. Too many changing cams make it hard to know what's going on. I know, if it's always coming from my point of view. The honest narrator. Honest. Where do you rub your finger? Well, where do I rub my finger? Mainly on my pussy. I think the thing that I do rubbing the most of with all my fingers is probably my pussy. And he's a very fat cat. But I love him. And he's 15 years old, and he snores now. He snores loud and moves a lot in his street. JB, you muck it up and they'll turn you into a servitor. What are we talking about? So I came on this evening to say hello to Americaland. So let's say hello again to Americaland. Sullivan Gilbert in the chat. Our battle report, you and I, that we did, Sullivan, is getting some good press, I feel. Some very good press. What's your favorite 40k faction and your favorite 30k faction? My favorite 40k faction and 30k faction, lore-wise, easily is Mechanicum. Because it's just, they're a species of cyborg Taliban fascists. Brilliant. You can't get more fucked up than that, really. No one would want to be a part. I mean, we've all fantasized, hey, maybe one day if they freeze me and I fall into a lake in a glacier and they cut me out with a carbon frost and the lake thing, bear with me. You fall into a thing and it freezes you, and then you get out of the thing and it's Warhammer 40k and you think, maybe I could be a space marine. And that's not necessarily a bad thing despite all the surgery. But no one goes, maybe I could be a servitor. Dear, where are we? Can you do a Matt rep for the 4th of July where you talk like an American the whole time? I can talk like an American, but you won't like it. Okay? Coffee. That's a slightly middle-aged American New Yorker or Bostonia asking for a cup of coffee. I can do Californian as well. Oh yeah, you're so awesome, dude. That's my Californian. What's it all about? What's it all about, eh? That's another Americaland one. Night All signing out. Thank you. 10 out of 10. Thank you. Please don't do an American accent ever again. Okay. I won't do an American accent ever again. I'll have a mocha. Anyone coffee? Yeah, so hello Americaland. It's nice to be jumping on at this late hour. How are we doing? Earlier on we talked about, I think I've been going in an hour. Earlier on we talked about, what did we talk about? How UK does Warhammer better than America, and how you guys need to convince me to come to Americaland. I mean, I went to Canadialand, which is part of Americaland. Canada is now a colony of New York, I think, or something. Just like London is next to Paris for you guys, and Italy is that bit on England near the bottom. That's probably Cornwall. Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? And I'm going back out there again. I'm going back out to the deep, deep snow in February. Really looking forward to it. To do some stuff and things with Dave. Hello from Americaland. Please, Winters, do Swedish. I don't know. Swedish speak impeccably. Swedish have probably the best education system on earth, or amongst the top education systems on earth. They can speak impeccable English, but they can speak 11 languages, have 2 degrees. And they all look so goddamn beautiful. Those Viking genes. Winter's Aussie accent. G'day, mate. Want to chuck another shrimp on the barb? No, it's not. Avoid the coasts. In Australia in particular, because everything around the coast of Australia will kill you. And if you're avoiding everything around the coast of Australia, don't go on Australia, because everything on Australia will kill you. Mr. Winters, I feel like I have to buy you a dinner because I go to sleep with you in my ear almost every night. Our common ancestry. Well, if we ever meet up at some point, I'll happily accept free food. Winters, you need to have Brap come back with his GSA. Right, guys, Brap Scallion is in Instagram. You can wage war against him now. You and the 2,000 or so people who will watch this afterwards. I tried to get him here for a game in January. He said no. He said he might be able to move it to February. He said no. So in the middle of a Warzone stream, he yelled at me, put down a 3rd of March! Because basically he was coming down for Weekend at Bernie's 3 on the 4th and 5th of March, so we could do a thing for the 3rd of March. But I'd promised Wrath of Constantine at the last Weekend at Bernie's, and for those that don't know, Wrath of Constantine is an absolutely mental American who flew over last year for Weekend at Bernie's and played against me. And he said if you were ever to do all that again, and I said, you're crazy, you just spent a lot of money flying to, let's face it, a more civilized part of the world and playing a lot of four camera and meeting me for a crazy amount of money, and you've run out of all of your husband points. Get back there and think about what you've done. And he's coming back again, and I said if ever you did, you could play with me first, and I would make him I said to him I would make you priority, because he's flying across the pond, you know. I mean, 100 years ago you had to build something out of a tree. So he's got the 3rd. And so Brat went, fuck you, in the middle of a Warzone match, when I told him after the fact that, oh no, I can't do the 3rd anymore because of Wrath of Constantine. And now he's bumped me all the way to down to June at the earliest. So when you say get a game in with Brap, talk to Brap, not me. Go on BrapScallion40k. Is he BrapScallion40k on Instagram? You could give him a follow. And the 1,000 or so people watching this afterwards. Brap, where are you bastard? Run away from me. Don't you know who I am? How do you search on this thing? BrapScal... Right, he is the Brapo Scallion 40KO on the... and I can't even show that shit. Brap Scallion... Someone write it in the chat. Someone is in the Instagram with him. Brap Scallion 40k. Message the crap out of that guy and say... What you could do, everyone in the chat, and everyone who watches this after, just put June is too late. Just if everyone goes, June is too late, or June is shit, or it has to be before June, or June on his Brapscallion 40k. If someone put it in the chat yet? Come on, guys, this is a team effort here. Come on, Brapscallion 40k in the chat. On the Instagram, spam the crap out of him. Or if you're in the deployment zone, Discord, spoil the crap out of him if you're a member of deploymentzone.tv, or if you're a member of if you're one of my massive members. Then I have my own Discord, as well as I am in the Deployment Zone Discord. So you either spam in the Discord, and the best way to support me is becoming a channel member. And the best... Spout June. Not June is great. Americans, come on now. Beware the Ides of June. Brapscallion 40k. Datsun Des. A UKer coming to the rescue. Americaland. I am knocking... easy balls here, and you guys, I've seen the way you love playing baseball and catching those balls. You love playing basketball and catching all the balls. You love playing American football, and you don't kick it on your foot like a football. You handle the balls. Americans, you guys have got your hands on so many balls. I think that's what half of the problem is with most great empires. But you've got your hand on... You love those mofo balls. You can't get enough of those balls. And I throw you balls over the fence and literally say, please help me in the stream by firing back. Please roast me back. Please ask some questions. Please write down Brapscallion 40k in the chat. And who steps up is Datsun Des from the UK. You're not putting on a good show this evening, Americaland. I'm afraid not. Come on now. Let's get involved. 75 likes. What is that? At least we can get that up to 76. Where are we? Travis Wyckoff, thank you for your donation. Thank you so much. When are you going to battle Morty and Glory again? I don't have any plans to battle Morty and Glory at this time. I very much enjoyed fighting Morty and Glory. But Morty and Glory asked... He's weaponized his... Not weaponized, just how hypocritical is this? I've just tried to weaponize my chat and people watching this video after the fact to spam the crap out of Brapscallion to encourage him to push the date further forward. But I know Brap really well enough. Hopefully it'll drive up a lot of likes and messages and interaction and views and followers on his Instagram, which you'll love, and in the Discord, which you'll love. I know Brap is a solid, down-to-earth, genuinely nice guy who he only sees the good in people and he will laugh his ass off. I know that I am making Brapscallion, or trying at least to make Brapscallion happy. I just remembered he's going to watch this back as a thing because I'll send it to him to find the bits. Hi, Brap. So it's all meant in good humour. Because you do it with people you know, people you understand, people you respect, and that's what friends do, right? I mean, we grab each other in the headlock and we rub on top of the head. We rub on top of the head. That's what we do. Or we have that happen to us an awful lot and have to wear a hat for the rest of your life because the dent is real, people. But doing it to strangers is not kosher. And Morty and Glory did it to a couple of people in the community a couple of times and pissed off some people that I know, and I know them better than I know Morty and Glory. And I've met Morty and Glory once, whereas these other people I know quite intimately, personally. I've eaten with them. I've done all sorts of things with these people. And if I can't see a way that I could invite Morty and Glory back without them seeing it as a slight. We need time for this wound to become a scar. And a year or so, I would love to collaborate with Morty and Glory again. Because we'd have all found new lovers by then. John McCardle, I was surprised when that one popped up because I don't think I've ever seen a red one before. Look, it's the color red. The donation is that massive. A massive donation. I can't gift memberships because of Google Pay ban. So here's a super chat instead. I love you. What's a Google Pay ban? You're a legend. A big drum roll in the chat for John McCardle, please. A drum roll and a budinch and a, give him some noise, people. Give him some noise. We found out we did. Look, Americaland, remember we're on this journey together. You're supposed to be helping me out here. I'm throwing one over there we go. Throwing one over the wall. The drum roll starts and here we go. Robert Lee, thank you, John McCardle. They're beating their drums for you. The drums of war. Hammer. I love you a little bit like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everything's bigger in America. Your donations are bigger. Much, much bigger. Yeah, everything's bigger. I mean, it's 4 time zones. It's 3 too many, isn't it? Sigismund is an old Germanic name. Yes, it is. Many of the names from the Warhammer 40k lore, the OG lore that comes out of the 80s, it's all taken, or lots of it is taken from the mythos of all of Europe, or Egypt, or it's taken from histories and mythologies that and poems and all things like that, where creative people take inspiration from. It's just spread out here. Elite, the West Coast. I don't know what you're talking. Google Pay ban is Liam's fault, John McCardle. Is it? Liam got you Google. I don't even know what it is. It sounds painful. Pardon me. Hopefully get out your pay ban at some point in the future. So hello, Americaland. It's nice to talk to you this evening. I think as this stream goes on, we are losing people from this side of the pond because most people have a real job to do, and this technically is my job now. So thank you so much for all the donations and the channel memberships. We've had a couple this evening that help keep this old man running. Anyway, I think I was talking about Morty and Glory. Before then, we were... did I just pick my nose on stream? Before then, we were talking about... I forget. God damn it, chat. I need to keep you on. Because there's some things that I would like to loop back to. Because there's something else. So, of all the topics... See, there's a number of people as well watching this afterwards as a VOD. So if any of them could jump in on a live stream at some point... They'll get how my brain works and they'll be ready there to jump on and say, hey, what about this thing that you were talking about? Because there's some more stuff I can say about that. And Winter, stop picking your nose on stream. Where are we? I want an American chapter, The Burgers and the Emperor. Brilliant. You're going to get more. No, that's not to me. No. Our Common Ancestry. Was it Second Legion was American? That's why the God Emperor banned them. Winters can buy a Warlord Titan with these donations. Nice, John. Long way from buying a Warlord Titan, but I don't want a Warlord's Titan. I don't. Tell me I don't. Tell me I don't want one. Are you going to get any of the plastic Horus Heresy sets for the 13th, like a Typhon or Leviathan? No. What I am doing for the Horus Heresy plastic sets is playing a lot of Horus Heresy. I did a test scheme on one of the Palatine Blade Terminators, Emperor's Children Terminators last night. Focus, damn you. Pray, Machine Spirit, hear my prayer. Please focus on the little man's. I hate you, Machine Spirit. White signifies Terran ancestry of the Terminator, and the platinum shoulder plates is he did something really elite. It's like getting the Medal of Honor or the what's the other one? The Victoria Cross, something like that. It's like that guy's done something so epic. He can wear platinum on his things. When will boarding action bat reps be available? I'm planning to film one on Friday and get it out on Saturday because it was a bit of a boom. Here's all of a sudden the thing. Lionel Johnson is named after Lionel Johnson, 18th century romantic poet, for example. Exactly. What is contained within the terminus degree? Wouldn't it be mad if that was the emperor and all this time Malcadorn's been sat on the golden throne, or heaven forbid Horus trapped on the golden throne and they're charging it, and the terminus degree below the seal in the vault. You know, when the great rift ripped the galaxy in two, the whole of Titan thrummed like a gong as the thing locked behind the terminus degree by the Grand Master of the Grey Knights try to fight its way out. Imagine if that was the Emperor. And then they can wake him up that way, couldn't they? So all my 30k toys are going to go on 30k. I'm not going to add them to the 13th. And I've got a lot of 30k already. I brought 2 Spartans today. If you want to talk through my 30k lists, Oh yeah. Will you play Epic when it emerges? Maybe. See, I talked about that on another stream. I love Titanicus, but it's hard to film for the reasons that I put out on the other stream. You'd have to go back and watch that one, which was the last one, I think. But yeah, I loved Epic. I played First Ed Epic. I played First Ed Epic a lot more than I ever played 40k, because 40k was expensive. You had to get all the stuff. There was a lot more lead back then. Rhinos and Land Raiders were lead. You could hurt someone when you threw one of them across the room. Oh, yes. And, or drop on your toe. Oh, a whirlwind on your toe. Oh, what a bad day. Oh, you made me come all over queer there. That was a horrible thing on my foot. Oh. Where were we? It was expensive, so you could do the Epic. So I did a ton of Epic, and as I said on the previous, I convinced a girlfriend to play Orcs Epic for a long time, and they were lead guard. I'm interested in Epic. Best heresy chapter to play as loyalist. Best. That's a big. It depends on your play style. Nick, thank you for your donation. Love you, son. Haywind has just finished the entire Horus Heresy series and Siege of Terror. What are your top 3 series recs for the 40k, 30k? Well, okay, so the number 1 is the Horus Heresy, but I'm assuming we're not counting that, Nick. I'm assuming you're asking about where do you want to go next. And by the way, congratulations for smashing it all the way through, because I know I did the short thing. But if you want to catch the whole of the Horus Heresy series now, you have to get it on Audible or Kindle. That's the only real way to do it. But you, Americaland, you've got all the tech. You can smash it out. And it takes years. But you don't watch Lord of the Rings to get to the end. And how many times have you guys seen Lord of the Rings? I mean, I must have seen it dozens and dozens of times. And all the director's cuts. And I don't put on Lord of the Rings because I want the end. It's the same for the Horus Heresy. You don't start this 2-3 year journey on Audible or to get to the end. You do it to enjoy and savor along the way. And if you can do one series, then that's the series. But the other top 3 would be the Gaunt's Ghost series. Everyone should read the Gaunt's Ghost series. The thing about the Gaunt's Ghost series is the first 2 books are good, but not great. They're good. Tanith First and Only was the first book published by Black Library. They didn't even know which way it was going to go. And the second book in the Horus Heresy series is the combination of the short stories that Dan Abnett wrote before First and Only. He wrote some short stories about this guy called Commissar Gaunt, Commissar General whatever, Gaunt, I forget. Gaunt's Ghosts. He had a military rank and a commissar rank, because Slado gave him the rank, and short stories, and they were so popular that it convinced him to write the first book, and that's First and Only, and he can get it now. So don't judge by the first book, particularly as the second book is flashbacks of what happens after the first book, and the flashbacks concern all the short stories that were written before. So it goes Colm Corbeck's point of view and he slipped, and then someone else's point of view and he slipped, and those are the first 2 books. And I've listened, and I've even spoken to another very high-ranking YouTube personality who said they think it's shit and couldn't get past the first 2 books, but that's the point. Verven Hive and the Hive City at the end of Series 1 is some of the best examples of Hive City War and just how devastating it is that I read for the first time before the Horus Heresy. And the second series, the same. Again, it's slow, but it ends so good. Sure as sure, it ends so strong. Sure as sure, it does. And then season 4 and season 5, season 3 and season 4, it just keeps getting better. So the number 1 is Gaunt's Ghosts. Number 2 is the Night Lords trilogy from Aaron Dembski Bowden, because they made me want to turn chaos. And you can like him as an Imperial person because their main enemy throughout most of the book is other forces of chaos. So that was cool. And the Night Lords hate everyone. They're basically not part of the Great Crusade by the time the Great Crusade came to an end. I mean, when Sevatar turned up at the Great Fleet Muster, he said, "You guys do what you want, but I'm going that way." That's essentially what he said. Yeah. So them. And then the third book series, 40k. Well, I'm going to put... Now he's gone on to season 3, which is Ravna versus Eisenhorn. I don't have to just say Eisenhorn now, or Ravna. I can say the Ravna Eisenhorn Beckwin series of books. And basically, if you only read those 3 series of Warhammer books and not the Horus Heresy, you will want to read the Horus Heresy. If you don't know where to start, Night Lords is a trilogy, start there. Eisenhorn Ravana goes behind the scenes and doesn't bother with Space Marines. Dip back into that world, because then you start off in Space Marines trilogy, easy to do. Then you go to Eisenhorn Ravana and it opens up the universe for you. And then you become a human with a lasgun stuck in a trench and do Gaunt's Ghosts, and you'll want to read the Horus Heresy. You'll be so... Your knowledge and your appreciation of Warhammer 40k lore will be so wide and broad. And I don't know anyone who thinks they suck. I know people who think that they're bad because they can't get past a couple of books, or people who's on the spectrum of where they are, the U-curve of who really loves and really hates this book. The U-curve is much narrower, much wider than... There's still that spectrum, but it's low. Most people either think they're good books or great books or some of the best books they've ever read. And I think, regardless of genre, even outside of Warhammer 40k, I think, regardless of genre, some of the 40k books, some of the ones that I just mentioned, some of the books in Gaunt's Ghosts and the Night Lords, and some of the parts in all of Gaunt's Ghosts, some of the parts in there, some of the parts in the Night Lords, and some of the parts in Eisenhorn and Ravana are some of the best, most engaging books I've read outside of any genre, above all genres. I mean, Lord of the Rings, if you guys have read it, it's fantastic. Who doesn't love Lord of the Rings? Who hasn't read it a dozen times? Who didn't cry in the cinema when it was actually released? Every single time I went to watch it each year, probably a lot of you because you're not as old as me. But yeah, his writing style, J.R.R. Tolkien's, he's writing for the majesty of it, which is why it's a timeless classic. And he's an English language professor, so you can't hardly fault him for that one. He knows what he's doing with his script, not so much his it's not prose first, it's not story first, it's script and story and world building. That's why the man's a goddamn genius. Yeah, but actual books, actual pieces of art that have taken me to another place, like great video games or great movies. Hi chat. ADB is proof God loves 40k players. Exactly. And Graham McNeil. Both ADB and Graham McNeil worked behind the scenes doing various jobs, or came through the Games Workshop employee route into where they are today. I know Graham McNeil moved to Americaland. It said so in the afterword of his last book. I think he married to an American land lady. How do you feel about the Amazon film deal? I feel awesome about it. More 40k on the big screen can only be a good thing, particularly as Henry Cavill has retained executive producer rights. So we've had some fantastic adaptations recently, like Reacher was really good, and Andor was really good. We've had some fantastic, lore-worthy, faithful adaptations recently, and we've had some adaptations that have not been that and are marketed to a different demographic than I am. And the ones that are marketed to different demographics outside the absolute nerd that I am, doesn't appeal to me. Like when Luke Skywalker he fell. He tried to kill his cousin, his little nephew, and then he got upset and went. See, the thing about light and dark in that canon is you never stray to the dark. Don't go to the dark side, Luke. Forever it will dominate your destiny. All those quotes that I can't remember. Once the dark side, the path of staying on the light is you always stay on the light. If you drift to the dark, you don't end up sad on an island. You become Sith. It will take you over. Only some of some of you guys will smash me with Star Wars lore, but only some of the most powerful Jedis were able to navigate the perilous path between the two, and Mace Windu, and we have there's some of the older lore back to Knights of the Old Republic as well. But by the time we get to Luke Skywalker's time, the lore for the Jedi is pretty much iron in stone, and turning Luke into something he could not become without becoming a Sith was against the law. It's a bit like putting an Amazon show of Space Marines on TV and Space Marines knowing fear, and then the demons come crashing forward and they fire and they run screaming from the rank and they're showing fear. It's like, no, that's not what Space Marines are. I wouldn't watch that. It doesn't match the true law that all us aficionados love. And I feel that Henry Cavill keeping executive producer rights for the 40k lore will mean that it's as true to the law as it possibly can be, because there's been a great many number of faithful adaptations recently, and there's clearly a divide in Hollywood right now, or in movie making land right now, about which way to go, which demographic to appeal to. But I've been around long enough to remember lots of different demographics. Oh dear. I mean, guys, I was born I remember the Dungeons and Dragons outrage in the 80s. And I remember my parents asking me what is Dungeons and Dragons, because they knew I played it. They wanted to hear it from me, because it was taking over our schools, and all the demons. All the demons. When they released the first 4 pictures of the first 4 big gods, the Nurgle one, Khorne, the 4 big, and you can find the classic images. The Nurgle one, we hadn't seen anything like that before. It's like, boom, we're going deep now, boys. So yeah, that's why we love the lore, and that's what I think about Amazon and Henry Cavill. And yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go too deep into the politics of all the stuff that comes out of our culture these days, because that can be someone else's war. I just want good movies, or good or bad is relative. Understand that? Get that out. I just want movies that are written for my demographic. And there's movies written for other people's demographics and TV shows. Hell, there's even TV shows that are written for my wife's demographic, and they mainly involve hospital surgeries or crime or things like that. Girls crying a lot. And yeah, that's what entertainment, and that's what it does. So stay away from the war. You don't live in that war. I don't live in that war. No one lives in that war. Well, some people do, but everyone's got to have a hobby, right? The rest of us just enjoy. Here's the thing that you can choose to do on the internet. You can choose to love what you love and that's it. There's so many trolls out there, but there's so many people trying not to be trolls who really troll anyway. And there's so many people, and there's me sometimes, and I do it. We have an opportunity, people, to only put positive things on the internet, to only like stuff. We have to only leave positive comments, to only recommend stuff that you like, to only shout out people that you want to shout out, to put positivity out there. And when you want to put negativity out there, or a challenge, or a question, or a thing, or a stuff, you sometimes put it out there too. And some people put a lot of that out there too. And some people make that their hobby. So you've got the scale of people who just troll. And then you've got the scale of absolute saints at the other end who never put anything bad out. We can all pull more to the right, and I actively try to do that online as well. If I can't say anything positive, I try not to say anything at all. If I can't, I won't actively go out of my way to dislike a video, to say something negative on someone else's thing. I won't actively. So actually 90% of my interactions online are me not saying stuff because I know stuff could be translated different ways. The stuff that I really want, I'm only trying to put positivity out there. So if if there's something so clear that I know it's only going to be set up as that way, or suggestions are great and feedback is good, and you know what I mean. But there's a limit to how much crap people. The internet is full of crap. And one of the things I try and do, like again, is like unfollow stuff or just hide stuff, or I don't like. There's a lot of stuff and politics and culture that comes crashing in through the social media machine all the time. So I just unfollow, block, remove, try and clear out those algorithms as much as I can, because I want my incoming algorithms to be about as much entertainment as I can. I don't get the people who say, I want to keep my privacy. No. Take my algorithm, YouTube. I don't want to ever see another Tampax advert. Don't advertise babies to me. In fact, I got YouTube Premium because I don't even like adverts. But I don't want them to suggest all that crap either. I want my entertainment channels to be full of entertainment. I want to put only positivity out in the world. And maybe that's something you could try. Just nudge yourself on that scale a little bit. Maybe that's something we can do as a community too. Maybe we could try and pay that forward. I don't know. I'm just playing in my little pond, trying to do what I can do for my own mental well-being. I know the further that you dabble into that pond, the more and more it will pollute you. Good manners and politeness cost you nothing, Victor. Thank you, Victor. But they can open many doors. Of course they can. And Victor's, it was your granddad's advice when he was a boy. I love it, Victor. I went down to my granddad once. He was staying over for Christmas for like a couple of weeks. And it was the 80s. And I was like 15. And I asked him, I remember it was like I remember this clear as day, Victor, my old granddad, rest in peace, asking him, I was in a lot of teenage angst, 15. You boys out there, you know what was happening to you at 15. And God's sake, don't ever let the girls find out. Anyway, dear. I said to him, Grandad, give me a piece of advice, please. Something that I really, that was what I said. Something that I really need to know. And he looked at me and he thought for a minute and he said, take good care of your teeth. And he wasn't wrong. I do take good care of my teeth, and I haven't had much teeth trouble at all. But they're still crooked because I'm in Britain and you're Americaland, you have lovely teeth. I finished Angel Exterminatus, and after all the other Fulgrim book scenes, does anyone else feel like he was a modelled off the Rocky Horror Picture Show dude? Maybe. Chapter Master Valrak is in his house. Chapter Master, thank you for joining us. I'm talking to Americaland. And as I explained to all the other people from the Holy Land here, from the old country, we're just tourists in Americaland this evening. Sometimes you have to reach out to them, Chapter Master. I know, I'm sorry, sir. Chapter Master looking at me. But sometimes you have to reach out to them and teach them a thing or two about just chilling it a bit, being nicer a bit, and playing less competitive a bit, and just trying to get some of their narrative on. You know what I mean? Americans are weird. They mix their tea with seawater. I know. And I once was in America. Someone with no sweat of it. I bought a thing, and it's like, I'd like a cup of tea. And they put water in and then dunked a thing in it with a little, I don't know, Tampax string, put it in front of me and said, there's your tea. And they were serious, Chapter Master, when they did. They were serious, like hot water with a tea bag with a Tampax string dumped in front of you for like $4 or something does not a tea make. Heresy. Sorry, couldn't hear you behind the trophy. Thanks, Timothy. What trophy? We'll try not to talk about it. A. Kirby, really? Merca! This 1,000 times strange lot, Chapter. I know they are a strange lot in Americaland, but everything's bigger out there. Everything's better out there. They've got bigger roller coasters. They've got bigger cheeseburgers. They've got bigger actors. They've got bigger bears. They've got a big sky. The Texans, they've got a big sky. Big beaches in Hawaii and things. They've got this really big island, and I think it's probably the longest. Long Island. I think that makes it the longest one in the world. But it depends what you're calling an island, really. It doesn't it? Wrath of Constantine is here. Dude, I was talking about you earlier on. Check out the earlier thing. Milk first, then the tea. Exactly. Put milk in first, bottom of the cup. Then you add the water. Then you add the tea. And then you get it up to the brownness of the tea. That way you can guarantee your tea to milk ratio. And then you add the sugar. Milk and 2, Builder's Brew. That's the way you have it. Our Common Ancestry. In 1993, I played 40k 2nd edition while deployed. Wow, I wasn't deployed, but I played it too. Bigger wastelands, yeah, exactly. Bigger price tags for Games Workshop, exactly. Bigger people, maybe they do. I mean, it's the land of the free and diabetes. JB, Winters versus Luton would be hilarious. Just don't film the face. I'm working on him. I'm working on Luton. Maybe one day. But I just want to meet the man. And honestly, if I just get to meet the man, shake his hand and talk 40k with him and play some Titanicus and stuff like that. Because the best thing I like doing is just hanging out and talking 40k. Because when you listen to streams, I mean, you guys are listening to it. Sometimes certain streams or certain things you think, oh, god damn, I just want to have a comment. Anyway, it'd be nice to chill back. It would honestly be nice to get completely pissed with him and talk 40k. Hell, it would be nice to go to Saturn with him and dive into a swimming bath of Dark Eldar Cabal witch cult drugs just off the shore of Saturn and let that cosmic journey, let them take us away, those Dark Eldar. I mean, I've seen some of the pictures look on some of the, the ones with the leather on the boards. They look all right, don't they? Yeah. Where are we? American tea is strange. I know we already established American tea is strange. It's not really tea. It's like my wife's tea isn't really tea. It's like strawberry and lemon with yak spit and a hint of milk or something. I don't know. Tim, you were with me in Panama. Fowler was a KSM I loved. I love the fact. Why milk in tea, says Gunnar. You have to put your milk in the tea, or the hot water from the hot water will make your china crack. That's why you put the milk in first. I'm sure you see Luton's face is shown in the video where he went to the painting class. Yes, you can find the pictures of the internet is out there, and lots of people can get pictures of the internet. I can also see Luton's face on my phone, on my WhatsApp. He's a very nice guy. Yeah, I think it was New Year's Day. I think it was New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. He sent me a picture of him in his living room watching one of my battle reports on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, and I was like, "You fucking legend! What a legend!" And I couldn't show him that I was watching one of his because I smashed all of his when it comes out. Well, it was a nice thought. Glad you're here. What are we talking? Tea is served hot. Milk if you want it. No, Richard Wong, get out. Get out. It's not served with milk if you want it. It's milk, 2 sugars. Everything else is not tea. There is what is it called? Proper Tea on YouTube. There's something you guys have to check out. I'll shout out about this as well. My Property. Yeah. Doc Brown, DOC Brown, Proper Tea Rap. Check that out on YouTube. It's about 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. But not right now, obviously. But that's what we feel about tea over here, just in case you guys didn't get the memo. What are we talking about? Is the chapter master gone? Good. We can talk about those spells a bit more. Where are we? I tried tea, not a fan. I tried coffee, it's okay. I tried Starbucks, still meh. But then I tried Monsters. Inject it straight into my veins. So now I've got the chat talking about milk and tea. So I can't really entertain the thousands of people who are coming after you, chat, by talking about the tea that you're talking about. And it's clear that you have no further questions for me, or do you? I feel like I've been banging on for a while now, and if I keep banging on, I'll make Brap upset because he'll just have more to listen through because he doesn't listen to me anymore. Go back to that thing I said about Brap earlier on. You know, here's my mate Brap. He's a wanker. Wanters, I gotta make dinner. Was lovely hearing you, and stay you. You're much loved in Mercia. Thank you, our common sense. Thank you for stepping in. I hope to do more. Yes, good night, good evening, enjoy your dinner. I hope to do more of these in the future with Americaland. What army are you building right now? I am building 3 right now. The Emperor's Children, like these are the getting the test models done and the thing for there. The World Eaters and the Necrons are still getting worked on. Winters, thanks for your work. Thank you. Winters, thanks for streaming at this time. Stoked to see more of these, Wrath of Constantine. Yes, Wrath of Constantine. I'm looking forward to meeting up on the 3rd. Wrath, go back when this comes as a FOD and listen to the bit about Brap, and then maybe you could apologise to him. And maybe you could move Brap before June, because he's moved back all the way to June for you. But yeah, the idea is to come on and talk to Americaland a bit more often. But right, I mean, I asked them some questions and they didn't really give me any answers this evening. And I made a proposition and they didn't really talk me down. I even asked them to roast me and I didn't see much roasting in the chat either. And when I asked for support, most of the support came from the UK. So I wonder if this Americaland stream has been mainly a stream to UK people who really don't go to bed early, and some Americans came in, and being Americans, they've been all quiet and polite in the background because they're more quieter and politer than we are, because, you know, all our mates are wankers. So I think maybe that's what happened here. But Timothy Fowler says, it's our first time, we're nervous. Okay, you're right. It's your first time. You're nervous. This is more interactive. Okay, let's jump up next time. New Zealand is here. Say hi, New Zealand. Are you drunk? 2 in New Zealand. Warhammer badly. Are you drunk too? I guess it'd be really early in the morning there, so you're probably not drunk yet. Depends on the time. Hi, my name is Ben. I am new to Warhammer 40k. Hi, Ben. Welcome to Warhammer 40k. It'll get more simpler. The edition's likely to change, Ben. Just at the moment, collect the models that you like to collect and think about the sort of army that you want to collect, or just the models that you want to paint, because the edition's likely to change within the next 6 months, and you'll need if you want to play, you'll need a new rule book then. But it's going to change for the better. It's going to be a lot easier and more accessible to get into. So if you try and get into it now, it'll probably be easier if you just wait 6 months. If you really want to go diving in, you can go diving in. Don't let me discourage you, but you could go diving in, but it's going to change. G'day from Australia. He's definitely drunk. Did you still need a passport to travel to Australia and Canada? I believe you do. Richard Wong's been collecting Warhammer since 1986. I beat you by 2 years. Yeah. I was 84. I know that because that's the year I came back to the UK. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, says Ghostwood. Good evening, Winter's SEO. Good evening, you. We are beginning to wrap it up. And Art Wagner is in the chat. See, your name, Art Wagner, is really Eastern European. It's a V. All the W's are V's. Wagner. So, you know, like World Wide Web, we say www dot. They say v because they're W's. So if you're, I'm sure you know that your old countrymen from the old world would have been the Wagners. Thanks for taking some time to hang out with us, Winters. Great to see you. Give us some time to we poor folks in the colonies. Art, I appreciate you. A long-time fan, long-time friend and lover. I remember those late nights when I was sat at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the car park at my old job, suffering horrible mental problems, and it's -2 and I'm freezing and there's a gale outside, chatting to you on Facebook. Ah, the good old days. I like to play with my Space Marines, says, well, just jump in then, Ben. Is Liam still a part of SEO? Liam was never a part of the SEO. The SEO is my small gaming group, and I am Winters of Swindon Elite Ops. And there's still three of us who play 40k regularly. There's a chunk more of us online. Liam is my partner in the deployment zone, and me and Liam run deployment zone and the deployment zone community, and we contribute to the deployment zone. Everything I put into the deployment zone, though, I also put on my members channel. So you have two options. You can support mine and Liam's joint project and get all my content by going to deploymentzone.tv, or you can choose to support Liam on his own, or you could choose to support me on my own. DZ split down the middle, Liam on his own, me on his own is split to us individually. Because Liam's chosen a new path in 2022. He's doing all the live streaming and all the bits and things, and wants to build and has built very successfully his own brand, the Liam Dempsey brand. Hopefully he doesn't change his name again from Warhammers to Liam. This thing. Hopefully this is it now. And he sticks with it because he's at 20,000 subs and he's going around the world, visited Tabletop Titans. That was amazing. And doing his thing. So well done to him. So now it's time to grow the Winters SEO brand as well. And after 5 years or 4 years of working hard at growing the Deployment Zone brand, hold on to that precious community that got us both out of the factory, and keep them safe, keep them loved, keep the Discord, keep the events, keep everything going, and try and encourage newer supporters to join us either individually or together as a pair. So Simply Warhammer, hitting the nail on the head. Night everyone. Love a good Winter's chat while doing hobby stuff. Hi from America Midwest. Thank you. I was going. Good night, Simply Warhammer. Yes. Check out Brother. Yes. Night mate. Good. Okay. So we're gonna wind it down. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. For those who are just coming in, I have to nail it. It's like midnight. It's getting. Are we on midnight? It's midnight. It's bang on the witching hour. So we will be leaving. I've enjoyed it actually this evening talking to Americaland. It's been fun. Next time, though, I need you guys to step it up more. And anyone who's watching this afterwards and you hear this and you manage to catch one of these, I'll try and do one next week. We'll see. I need you to come on. Yeah, I need a hand. I can't do this on my own. So I do hope you enjoyed the live stream. Put some positivity into the world. Stay safe. Introduce someone to Warhammer 40k. Be a good person. As E.T. said, be kind. As Bill and Ted said, be excellent to each other. Live long and prosper. Everyone's saying goodbye. Good. This is working. This is actually quite a professional rollout for the first time. I'm actually rolling down to a professional. Look, see, everything in Americaland's better. Even the rollouts are better. You've elevated me to your good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, Warhammer fans. I think I just crashed it there. I was rolling all the way, and now I've just sticky. Thank you for joining the stream. I'll see you next week. Happy wargaming. Press that button. Is it that one? Is that? I'm still on that. Not that one. It's this one.